We're Group 4, and we're going to be covering the Antiquities Act and NPSOA. The Antiquities Act resulted from concerns about protecting antiquities, which were prehistoric Native American artifacts and ruins. And back in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, private collectors called pot hunters would remove these artifacts or these antiquities from the land, and it became a huge issue. So in 1902, an anthropologist named Edgar Lee Hewitt took an archaeological inventory of the land that was being ravaged by pot hunters, and he noted that there was a significant impact on the archaeological resources of the region due to this, I guess you could call it illegal excavation of the land that was taking place. And so in 1906, President Roosevelt put the Antiquities Act into effect, and this was the first law to establish that archaeological sites on public land are important public resources. And an example of the land that was being ravaged by these pot hunters is Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, which is now called Chaco Canyon National Historical Park, and this is the land that you're seeing in the video right now, and one of the main reasons why the Antiquities Act was put into place.
The Antiquities Act made it possible for the president to deem historically and archaeologically relevant land as parks and conservation land, and this was given the title of national monuments, which turned into national parks. The Act prohibits the destruction of these antiquities, and it requires permit for excavations at any of the sites. It's important to our past because it was the first legal protection of cultural and natural resources in the United States. And it's applicable to our future as archaeologists because important archaeological sites have been protected from looting and vandalism thanks to the Antiquities Act. And archaeologically significant sites are in good condition today due to the Antiquities Act, and it benefits education of the public on natural and cultural matters.
The National Park Service Organic Act, or NPSOA, established the National Park Service, an agency of the United States Department of Interior. In 1911, Senator Reed Smoot of Utah and Representative John E. Raker of California proposed the establishment of the National Park Service to manage all of the parks in the USA. Prior to the implementation of this service, parks and monuments were managed individually by the United States Army. Parks began to be designated in the second half of the 19th century, in the late 1800s, and monuments were designated in the early 20th century. In 1916, President Wilson signed the act into law.
The NPSOA conserves the scenery and objects for future generations to enjoy. It emphasizes the archaeological importance of these historic objects for future investigation. For our future, it provides unchanged environments for future investigation.